profess for the declaration of assets and liabilities of all the candidates, politicians who intend to represent their people, to make declarations on what they own and what they owe?
Well, I suggest that Justice Fatiaki is the best person to talk on this. But, my own feeling is that when people go into Parliament, they need to declare the assets and liabilities and what exactly they are, so that the public can see that in their parliamentary decisions, they're not feathering their own nest. But I think Justice Fatiaki can speak more.
Yes,
Mr. Fatiaki.
Yes, thank you, Vijay. That is an important question, and when I first thought of it, I thought, well, why do we bother with these things? I think it's important for two reasons. One is what Professor Narsey has said, but the other one is we want politicians or people who seek to be parliamentarians to already have a certain level of comfort. We don't want, people who are totally penniless to be standing. We need them to have a certain level of self-independence. They demonstrate, people with assets and assets certainly, demonstrates an ability to consider their future, be future-looking rather than live for today. I think it's a reflection also of the person. So removing it totally is not really part of our thinking. What is part of our thinking is that this should not be used and weaponized. The law, the electoral law and most law needs to be de-weaponized. And this is something that has happened with our laws over the past 16 years. They weaponized our laws. What do I mean by that? When I grew up and studied law, the law was a protector. That was its function. It protected the people against abuse of authority and power by others. And the law stood to protect. When you weaponize the law and use it to attack the people, that is not what the law is about. And that's what I mean when I say this declaration of assets and liabilities, whilst a rational requirement, cannot be allowed to be weaponized. And that has been happening. It's being abused. And people are being, terrified by it. And it shouldn't be. The law shouldn't terrify. The law should be rational and be able to explain itself and justify its existence. And if it can't be rational, and it can't explain itself, and it can't justify its existence, it shouldn't be a law. It's pure and simple.